So we're using Kuretake paints again today and using the warm side of the colour wheel. So cadmium scarlet, orange, yellow with a little bit of cobalt violet. I've got some flat brushes here and I find that easiest when you're doing these sort of square shapes. And I'm just randomly adding some paint onto my page. It's cold pressed watercolour paper that I've got taped down with some tape. And I'm just going to make some little shapes, oblongs and squares going down the page. Apologies, I've had a run of deleting the wrong video. So I have completed the watercolour background there and I've waited until the paint has dried and grabbed some pens. So I've got some black fine liners, some gold gel pens, felt tip pens and white acrylic paint pens. When you're painting these squares and oblongs, you need to just leave a bit of a space in between each block of colour. Now, what I did do when I painted this, I painted one colour on top and then I added some little bits of the other colour. So the one that I'm drawing on now, there was a bit of cobalt violet that I added in the middle there. So I've got my white paint pen and I'm just doing this lacy kind of design over this square. Adding a scallop shape here, so just sort of doing a little feather kind of action down the page as I go on that purple section there. So I've got a gold felt tip here and I'm just adding some lines across the page there. And then I've got my white Posca pen and I'm sort of bringing it off the page to have this feathery end bit to it. And then getting a black fine liner and adding some lines onto that gold felt tip pen. With the gold felt tip pen, I'm now just adding some dots onto the page. And what you need to do when you're using a felt tip pen, you do need to make sure that is dry before you add marks onto the top of it. So some of these sections I start off doing one kind of pattern, leave it, do something on another square and then come back to it and add a little bit more. It's the same with the paint pens as well. They need to dry before you start putting little black dots in there. So squiggling lines down the page, leaving that section, moving on to the next using the fine liner pen there, and then going to the felt tip and just adding some dots. So you could see this as a whole picture and that's how you want it to be, or you could see it as an experimental sampler where you are just experimenting with some patterns, see whether you like it so that you can transfer it onto another picture. Sort of creating a swatch library for yourself that you can refer back to and utilise at a later date. As in all my projects, these are the colours that I'm suggesting using, these bright orangey kind of yellow colours with a bit of a splash of the cobalt violet, but you may want to go for something else. So experiment, see what are your favourite colours. Do you want ones from the same side of the colour wheel, or do you want things to sort of like zing against each other? So then you'd be looking at the opposite side of the colour wheel in order for those colours to sort of bounce off each other. This is a great way to experiment with colour, shapes and textures and build your watercolour confidence. Sometimes I like using these as sort of like warm-up exercises before I'm going to actually paint a picture with detail in it. When you paint these, sometimes the colours will touch each other. So I'll get my white acrylic paint pen and I'll just go around and outline those squares and oblongs to make them stand out from one another. I like to look at a page and sort of imagine what colours would look good with what, and then add the pens appropriately. Though I usually use white, I usually use black, and gold is one of my favourites too. With the white paint pen, it's always good to do that on a background that is dark in colour. It just makes it pop a little bit. and the black fine liner always looks good on a light background. But you need to experiment and see which you like. As you can see, this is so easy to do. It's not complicated at all. You've just got to take your time and enjoy yourself. That's what art's about, isn't it? It's not about getting all stressed out. Am I going to get it right? Am I going to get it wrong? What if I get it wrong? It's all going to be ruined. I'm not going to like it. Art should be about you having some fun and some relaxation time. And just remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. This is about you enjoying yourself. Using the black fine liner here and just going around those gold marks there. Sometimes look at what I've put down and think, oh, that looks a bit boring. I want to add some more. Or sometimes I'm in that mood where I just think, I just want to put everything down and everything gets really piled on. But I quite enjoyed that. And other times it's all a bit pared back and just looks a little bit relaxing. Maybe I felt more relaxed at that time. So you'll find that art comes from within you and it is a reflection of you. So I hope you get to try this. So easy to do. If you like this, maybe you'll like, maybe you'll subscribe, maybe you'll leave me a comment. Let me know how you're getting on. What is your art journey like? How long have you been doing it for? And how does it make you feel? I'd love to hear from you. I look at the messages regularly and I will come back to you and I will answer any questions you have. So coming to the best bit now, I'm peeling off that tape. Oh, how wonderful that makes me feel. It really makes my heart sing when I'm tearing off the tape and I get to have a look at my picture and see what I've produced. So I'm going to bring this up to the camera so you can have a look at it in a little bit more detail. And let me know in the comments what you think. Is it something you're going to try? Any shapes on there you like? I think my favourite maybe is the lacy one. I quite like that one. I also like the little scallop shapes. I think they look really good in the gold on the yellow down in that right hand corner here. So there we go. Really enjoyable to do, really easy. And it's really good practice to see whether you can get your hand a little bit steadier by adding that paint into those blocks. But don't worry if you can't, you've always got that white Posca pen to tidy things up. Okay, thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.